Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Three Hammers, our first opinion piece of the week. I didn't do the walk. The weather's been absolutely awful, so I'll wait till I get home tonight. There's quite a few bits of news out there actually. The first one I wanted to touch on is there's a big, trusted sources that Declan Rice and Mark Noble both pulled David Moyes after the Brighton game and basically, called him out and saying this football we're playing is ridiculous. You really need to sort it out. We know all the stuff with Nolan as well. We see that with the iPad. When he threw the iPad on the floor, it is not a happy dressing room and it's not a happy coaching staff. And I think everyone's falling out of trust and falling out of love with Moyes now in that dressing room, and players that maybe would have backed him in the past are really starting to show their frustration now. And it's not good. It's not a good place to be. Nolan was, not happy at all, and I imagine that Mark Noble saying, look, this is, these West Ham fans, they're not silly. They're not silly people. They know what good football is. They know what hard work is. They can take a loss, these guys, but you've got to show them a bit more. Declan Rice looks more and more, more and more depressed every interview, I have to say. Last couple of interviews he's had with the losses, he's dug Moyes out saying, if you set up like this, the first interview was, if you set up like this, what do you expect? And then the next one was, we couldn't work them out, it's unacceptable. And I think these players are becoming more and more disillusioned with it now. It's all fun and games when you're winning. You set up like that, you're digging deep and you're getting results, brilliant. But it hasn't worked for nearly 14 months. There was a fantastic interview on TalkSport with Simon, West Ham fan. He follows the Three Hammers actually. And he's talking to Martin Keown. He's rung him twice, saying, the first call was that West Ham have got some sort of identity, and then Simon brought it out saying that we haven't won in some games. What is our identity at the minute? And then yesterday's call was about sort of how Moyes should be trusted, and that the players need to do this, and it's not been that bad, and it's great to see a West Ham fan really put it to these experts, that probably watch the highlights of West Ham once a week. We know best. We do. We're not total experts by any stretch of imagination, but we know our club. We watch it. We watch the 90 minutes every week. In other news, Kretinsky as well, by all accounts, he's fully prepared to take on David Gold's shares. The late David Gold. And if he was to do that, I do believe he would become 51 or 52% majority shareholder, which would make him, the chairman of the club and would overtake David Sullivan. That was a couple of days ago, and then today it's come out that Jackie Gold and her son, forgive me, I forgot his first name, but I think it's something like David Cunningham, who's a big West Ham fan, her husband. At the moment they're willing to keep the shares on for a little bit. So again, this could rumble on a little bit now in terms of will it be sold? Will Cunningham come with new ideas about it? The quicker these lot go, the better. Honestly. David Sullivan, again, there was a rumour about him that he's fully ready to give up now in the summer. Listen, this football club is going nowhere until that regime's out. I'm hoping if Kretinsky does take over, we need to stay up first and foremost. But if we do stay up, get the club sold, get it done, and there needs to be a plan. There needs to be a 4 or 5 year plan. Where are West Ham now, and where do we want to be in 5 years, and actually start putting it into process. Since we've moved to the London Stadium, what plan has there been? That I honestly believe that I don't believe that they wanted us to fail, and I don't buy into any of that. But when they moved into that stadium, I do genuinely believe that they thought the stadium will just bring success. It will bring more money, which means we'll attract more players. They've missed so many important windows of opportunities to take us forward as a football club that, like I say, just please sell the club now. and let Kretinsky, hopefully, we need to have a philosophy as a club, like a Brighton, like a Brentford, that just has people doing jobs that need to be done, good coaching teams, real good footballs of directors of football, that creates this fluidity so you don't get panic stations like what's happening at West Ham now. Chelsea used to be really, really good at it, but this is the first time they've ever had this sort of situation where, that new managers come in and it's not quite worked out just yet. But like I say, you see with Brighton, Potter goes, new manager comes in, perfect. I do believe if Thomas Franks was ever to leave, they would go and get maybe like a Vincent Kompany or someone like that, and it would just have a smooth transition as a football club. West Ham are not there yet, and that's what I want more than anything. The poison runs a lot deeper than David Moyes. There's toxicity all around the club, and until all of that goes, and hopefully it will be in the summer, with Declan Rice going as well, and I like Declan, but him going, that money will hopefully give us an opportunity to really start getting this football team run like a proper professional Premier League football club, because it's so frustrating. We won't sack him because it costs 7 million. Do you hear that from any other club? Really? And all little things like, who needs a magnificent training ground like Leicester? Listen, Leicester ain't doing too great this year, but it's little things like these training grounds, like good directors of football that have the contacts, and it's not so rigid with the Allardyce, Benitez, Steve Bruce, Sean Dyche. These other people have eyes, and they can, take us forward as a club, and have contacts on the continent, and just, so it's very frustrating. This video, as always, is always all over the place. But yeah, that's sort of the news that's out of it at the minute, guys, for these last few days. Let me know what you guys think. Massive thank you to all the views for the last video, the David Moyes one I did on Sunday. 1.8k views, which is fantastic for us. We've really surpassed that 4k subscribers now, so push on now for 4,500 would be fantastic. I'll be back the weekend, probably doing some little podcast or something like that. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching all the shows. Come on, you Lions, let's go.